So it's been a week since the last video where we started doing some work on the bike. In that video, we put the Wogo MG5 pedals on the cranks that are by full speed ahead, as well as the bottom bracket. We put all those in. I've done a number of things over the past week that I didn't really do on video. Probably should have, but put, as we can see here, the bike in the view a little bit there. So put the rear crank, or not the rear crank, the rear derailleur on. It's a long cage Shimano. It's the M786. Also put the 786 on the front. There could be some concerns about the cable pull since it terminates here. That angle may be a concern. I don't think it's going to be because of the way that it pulls, but it actually pulls up for that. I don't think it's going to be a concern, but those were two things that put on as far as the frame is concerned. A couple of other things that I took care of in the past week to get apart is for both the front and the rear rims, I put the disc on for the disc brakes. Figured that was just something easy to do while it was rainy outside. I could just sit inside and just torque those down. So I've got the discs on, look pretty good with the rims. Got the other one down here, but don't really need to see that. A couple of other things have happened this week. I picked out a saddle for the bike, so I've got this Raceface. It's almost identical in the shape and form of the Scott that I have on my road bike. I know that one's very comfortable. It's got a little bit of padding and a little bit of give. It's not leather, mind you, but I kind of know what works for me, and this seems to work. So I think with this bike, it's going to go pretty well. It'll match pretty well. Another thing I got was I got my cable housing. I was looking to do a kind of a red or a yellow and a green accent with the bike. So the cable housing, this is the best that I could come up with as far as green. So it's probably not ideal, but I could always wrap it, I guess. Get some tape or something and wrap it, or even paint it maybe. I'm not sure, but so that's their Pro brake housing by Jaguar. So got that. So those will get installed at some point here. As far as today, a couple things probably trying to do. One of the things that I might try and get done is get the actual disc brake housings installed on the bike, both the front, or both the back and then the front here, which means I'll probably get that fork that I'm going to be testing out, the Lauf fork, test that out and see how that works. So I'll get that. Like to get these mounted on the rims. These are the Vittoria Mezcals, the tires. I'd like to get those mounted on, get that seated, probably get some stands in them, mixed in with some rubber little pellets to help seal up any holes if I get any tears. I'd like to get that on, maybe get those mounted on the bike, see if I can have a rolling chassis by the end of the day. Just be one step closer to kind of having a workable bike. So that's kind of the plan for today. I don't know what I'm going to get done, but the stuff I'm going to work on, I'm trying to get a video of it, just so you guys can see the progress of the bike, see how it's going, and get one step closer to our end goal, which is Banff, Canada. So that's where we are. Those are the things that have kind of happened in the past week, and let's, I guess, see where we're going to go from here.
These are the Stans Arch MK3s, which are a little bit wider than your traditional Stans tires. See, we're taking the core out of the valve stem.
Yep.
These do have a direction. They roll. And you would put the Mezcal logo right at the valve. It's just like doing a regular tire. I saw somebody had posted on I Love Cycling Facebook on their webpage a what could it be? If you just hold that.
No, working it. Here, we'll just hold that and let you.
Yeah, these tight fits on these rims. That's what makes them seat so well. What do we got down here? Actually, in the center. I don't like to use levers on these if I can help it.
Do we need levers?
No, well, out of view here, but it's kind of. Sometimes you have to soap them to get them on. I don't necessarily like doing that. So let's go ahead and put this backwards. We'll, sometimes doing it at doing the whole bead, finishing the bead at the valve stem sometimes works better. I don't remember mine being quite as papers when I did mine. We're not square down here though, so we got to keep that.
Yeah.
You don't have to hold it. You just have to keep steady tension on it the whole way up.
Keep it square down at the bottom.
It'll pull right up to the middle, so you don't have to keep.
Just a little bit left.
Let's finish. Are we in the center all the way around?
Yes. Let me see if I can give you a little slack up here.
There we go.
Sometimes you have to, if you can get the slack to run up the tire, you actually pull a little tension on it, you can.
Okay. What we're going to have to do here, we're going to end up having to soap it a little bit. So we'll go ahead and get a little.
We'll go to the stands then.
Well, we're not putting a lot. We're putting partial stands. You got to keep that cup down there. And some special. Yes, I put glitter in my tires.
And why do we put glitter in tires?
Glitter will clog things a lot better. I don't necessarily mind mixing stands and orange seal. They're both somewhat compatible.
So if you can see in here, we have a thing of stands, orange seal, and glitter.
So now we'll rotate the tire, and we're going to soak this all up. Hopefully it'll go on a little bit easier for us.
On that side, and I'll work this.
What do you need your hand? You need your hand. Can you reach under there and put your foot? Well, and we'll see what we can do about.
Pull up the slack. Or pull up some slack. It's usually with really tight tires, you can kind of work.
You need to push it, squeeze it to the middle. So what we need to do. should have enough slack right there. I'll just probably pop it over.
There we go.
Now we're on.
Okay.
Alright.
Next one. Open up. This one.
Good. Don't worry about this. You don't worry about that. Okay. Now we've already got beads, so. Okay. You can.
How much pressure we want in there?
Just to start. That's it. Go ahead and pull that off, and as soon as you pull that off, I've got to pull. Okay. Now, I used to use WTB Nanos exclusively for my bike packing, but I came across the Vittoria Mezcals last year, and and the first day out on the Tour Divide, I was just blown away at how good these tires performed. There we go. Okay, as long as you don't have to seat it, you can still. I don't know what our pressure in here is now.
You can always do it on the pump to get the right pressure.
Yeah, when you're out there in the middle of nowhere, you just put enough pressure into it that it feels good. There we go. We'll go ahead and take it up with your floor pump, though.
Okay.
Where are we at PSI? Keep going. We're going to take up about 30, 35. Now these are 2.25 inch tires. They're not plus tires, but there's that should be good. And what you heard there, that noise, is we are completely seated on the bead now. It actually, there's a lip around the bead, and the tire is lifted onto that lip. So, I hate when they pop like that. So what we're doing is we're taking that stand, an orange seal mix,
And you can probably hear it sloshing around a little bit.
and we're a little off on our logo here, but that's nothing I'm going to worry about. Anyway, these tires here roll fantastic, and they've got grip like I'd never seen with the WTBs. So, on to the next one.
I've already got the tire laid out, and let's see, this rolls forward, so
You got to spin.
or you spin that.
Doesn't matter, spin one or spin the other. Start at the bottom.
Work that side.
I've got tension up. Look.
Came off.
Yeah. All you have to worry about is just keeping tension up and bring it to the top. Just get some soap into there. In the middle. Right in the middle there. And I get this little.
See if I can get you some.
Well, not getting me slack, getting it over here so you can see.
There you go. Let's got it. Nice little bit. There we go.
At that side.
Logo.
We're close enough on the logo. So now, do the same thing we did before. Get some stands here. Had a lot of stands. Ooh. Stands is dead.
So as you can see down here, we're putting our stands and our orange seal and our glitter in.
Glitter's light, and I don't know if this makes any difference or not. So, need some of that soap up here.
Yep.
Soap the tire. Might try something a little different on this one.
What's that?
And what we may end up trying.
As far as getting it on?
Well, not getting it on, it's sealing it. There we go. We're all on there. I'm wondering if I can seal it with the valve stem in. With my...
Should be able to.
It
Be a good test to see. I'll hold it. You just work at that. Sealing.
Sealing it with the hand pump with the valve stem in. Yeah, we're sealing it.
Get the hardware here too. For those.
Don't need the hardware.
No?
Nope. Some bikes have a mount where the holes go sideways to mount the brake caliper. This frame doesn't have that. So we don't need the adapter.
The holes for this are right here in the back of the frame. They come up this way.
You can get the camera.
If you want to look and see here. So, like I was saying, they come right here, these two, and then they just come up from the frame.
Grab that bracket. Grab the bracket.
The bracket, yeah. The one that I didn't grab.
Okay, hold these. Hold those. Grab that rubber thing. And we'll just get everything lined back up onto here. So there's a convex and a concave washer on each side of these.
Mm-hmm.
That's over there by the black case. I'm trying to get one in here. See it?
I got it.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Where do you need them?
Just put them together, and I'll slip them in so they match the other two.
I'm assuming the concave part goes into the convex one.
Yes. As long as they match, and it's really not that important. What that allows you to do is, once this is in, you can adjust. You got it. You don't have to. So let's go ahead and get your rear tire.
All right. Just right behind you.
And slide. Got it. We got a piece of cardboard in here we need to get pulled out. Okay, we'll We'll be able to get a close adjustment on this. If you want to see, squeeze it tight. I said we squeeze it tight,
okay.
the caliper, while we tighten everything down. I think that's probably going to be a good adjustment until we get that rest that's taken care of. Headset bearing. Luckily, the headset bearings just slide right up in here nicely. There's not a lot of hold that up.
Yep,
Press
I got it
that on up. Then we have the upper headset bearing. I don't know if we're going to. It's fun getting some of this stuff to work. I'm not sure if that's going to be necessary or not.
Need something.
No, just push that down. Actually, we'll pull that spacer because we don't need the spacer after all. There we go. Do you have your spacers for the tube or not? Not, I'm assuming.
I don't have any spacers now.
I ring a bell. Okay, on. Put your slide your jigger down there.
One jigger.
Okay.
Let's see if I can loosen that up.
I have some more spacers here. I always like to leave a little off the top.
Yeah.
Now, since this is a carbon fork, don't tighten those yet.
I'm just getting it not real tight, but just snug.
Since this is a carbon fork, it has a very special clamp that runs down the side of it. It looks like we don't need it snug. We need it to be able to slide.
Oh, okay. Well.
Usually, the piece that goes down inside of a steer tube are metal or like a metal flange. They're little discs with slots in them. So that pushes in one way and it can't come back out. You only use those with metal. For one such as this, we have to use an expander, and they make several different styles of them. And what we do is we're going to slide the expander down inside there. Hopefully. Expand it out.
Oh, you can loosen those in. Loosen those.
Now we'll take, get ahead of yourself there. You still have to tighten down this whole mechanism.
I'm just getting some.
And what this is going to do is loosen this up. This has really got to be. Now we can put some torque on it, and we can right in. It's right there at the seam. Milk dud? So. Oh, right there in the crack. Yeah, right, you just. Oh, it's just about ready to fall down through the crack. Hold on, hold on. This is a Lauf, which comes with its own little baggage. We may end up having to shim some washers in there. I recall I had to on mine because I had some rubbing issues. There were several issues when I did mine. One of which I ended up having to actually grind a little bit off of my caliper, so we'll probably have to do that too. But it doesn't affect operation, it just...
We can always adjust it later.
Yeah, but for now though, I mean, it's going in. As long as there's no rubs. Well, I didn't even try doing anything to it. Okay, well, right now we are actually, the cam is hitting, so we're going to have to end up putting a few spacers in there.
That's fine. We can adjust on that later.
It's a very simple thing to do, just
a
few stainless washers.
Okay, so had to wait till this morning to actually do this last part of the video about what we did yesterday. It was getting kind of dark and late, and we had some storms moving in, so got a lot done yesterday. We got both tires seated, both the front and the back. Put some stands in there, some orange seal and some glitter. Got the bead, the seat on both. We got the rear disc brake and then the front one mounted on the frame. Got tires on. Still got to get a through axle for here because apparently it seems like the nut that needs to go on here for this through axle didn't come with the frame, or it's missing or something. So we got to contact the manufacturer on that. But we got the Lauf fork through here with our top and bottom bearings on this. Got our spacers on, got the stem put on, and then got the Surly Moloko bar put on. Unfortunately, as you probably see in the video, I put it on upside down twice and kind of snugged it down, and finally the third time got it on right. So we got a rolling chassis now. Not going to put the chain on yet because I got to wait till I can actually have this secured with a through axle that's tightened down. Don't need to have chain slap hitting the frame. So I think I'm going to like it. I probably could have gone with a large. My standover is pretty good, but I think the positioning and everything, I'll have a decent reach, but not too far. One of the things that I really like about this bar now that I actually have it assembled with the bike, and I can kind of stand here as if I was on the bike, is this is a comfortable position. If I'm on rugged terrain or technical terrain, I can be able to steer through that pretty easily. But then the nice thing that about this is I want the ability to, when I'm on flat road and something comfortable, I can get into kind of a more road biking position, which is kind of like this. But for this, it's kind of here, and I have a little bit of a grip hold up here with my thumbs, so that I can kind of get more into a road biking type position, which is kind of my MO. That's what I do. So, as I said, we got a lot of stuff done yesterday with the bike. I got a rolling chassis, starting to look pretty good, and hopefully here in the next few days, I'll get my seat posted in, be able to get the saddle in. We've got, of course, the shifting and brake levers, and then cabling and everything that has to get put in. But we're getting pretty close. Getting excited about getting this thing out there and start riding it and getting a feel for it. So that's where we are. Like usual, if you guys got comments, questions, feel free to comment on this video, and I'll try to address them. And probably see you guys here in a few days as we put some more stuff on this bike. Thanks.